When this one-shot comes out, it will be almost 9 months since the conclusion of My Hero Academia, which is wild to think about, because if you don't believe me, My Hero Academia ended on August 5th, 2024, over 6 months ago. That's crazy that it's already been 6 months since My Hero Academia came to an end. And it's just like, man, how time flies. It's just like, it feels like it was just yesterday that My Hero Academia was coming out in a very weekly format, and you could look forward to a new chapter every single week. But obviously, it's been 6 months. The series is over, and, it's honestly, it's kind of sad. It is sad to know that such a Hallmarker series, a big legacy, is officially over, or so we thought. So basically, there is some information now that is coming out that there is going to be a My Hero Academia Final Fanbook Ultra Age coming out this upcoming May. That's a few months from now, like 3 or so months from now, and when it does, it'll be 3 days shy of the 9-month, overall conclusion of My Hero Academia. But with this overall fan book that's coming out, it's going to be including over 100 characters, plus quirks, special moves, My Hero Academia World, an interview with past editors and Horikoshi Sensei, a Q&A corner with Horikoshi, an exclusive short one-shot manga. This is the big one that is standing out to me, and I think a lot of people within the manga and anime community right now, because My Hero Academia is legitimately a huge manga. It is massive, okay? It is a manga series that has honestly created a gigantic new generation of fans, for good or worse, but it is a very popular series that started way over a decade ago. And, with just how much of a cash cow it is and how popular it is, it's very clear. I just don't believe that Shonen Jump, Weekly Shonen Jump, the magazine, would allow such a cash cow to slip through their fingers and to fully conclude right then and there, when there's clearly a lot more stories that can be told within the universe of My Hero Academia. And so in this case, with the exclusive short one-shot manga that is set to come out, in a few months from now, we have no information on what it's going to be about. It can be something entirely random, maybe giving us information to Deku's father. Maybe it might give us more to the epilogue. Maybe it might be like some form of date scene between Ochiko and Izuku. Maybe it's something so entirely random we can never guess it. Or it is a sequel hint, setting up for a continuation of some kind. Now, this is what I want to get into next. So, at this point in time, there is no 100% confirmation that this is a sequel. But it is hopeful. It is a hint. Because obviously, when you have one-shots being made, more content of a manga coming out months, almost a year after it comes to a close, it's very obvious that there is definitely people wanting more content. And the big wigs at the top, the company, aka, Shonen Jump and Shueisha, they're going to take notice of this, and they're going to want to sell this product even more. So I do think that depending on what the one-shot has within its pages, and how long it is, etc., it most likely is going to set up some form of continuation or spin-off series. And I think that people are assuming that maybe Horikoshi might do it, but we have seen many cases in the past years, decades even, where you'll see authors, they'll finish their work, and they want to be done with it, move on to a new project, but they'll have, let's say, either another person that they've mentored or someone else pick up their said series to continue writing it. We've seen this in many different cases. And so, it's highly likely, if Horikoshi doesn't theoretically want to work on My Hero Academia anymore, someone else might be able to pick up the pen and start writing it. Would that be a good thing? Personally, in my opinion, you want my honesty? No. I think that if it's not written by Horikoshi, I don't think it would feel the same. It wouldn't be the same. But obviously, that's not my call at the end of the day. That is up to Shueisha and Shonen Jump. And obviously, if Horikoshi gives his blessing. And I believe also at the end of the day, it comes down to contracts and stuff. Because I believe Shonen Jump owns the rights completely to My Hero Academia. So Horikoshi might not have as much of a say in general, if, they want to continue it to some way to be able to get more money, which makes a lot of sense when you think about the current state of Weekly Shonen Jump. I made a video on this topic already, but Shonen Jump, obviously, it doesn't have a lot of massive hits in its magazine. I'm not saying the manga within the magazine is bad, I'm not. There's a lot of good stuff, like Ichi the Witch is really good, and so is Kagura Bachi. That's not, obviously, counting the old school stuff, like, for instance, Hunter x Hunter or One Piece. But what I'm saying is that there's not a lot of big names within the magazine that pretty much a big chunk of the world recognizes anymore, and I feel like, Shonen Jump is aware of this. They're worried. And I feel like because of My Hero Academia's close, like its conclusion very recently, they might want to bring it back into the fold to be able to give some more time, get some more borrowed time, because obviously One Piece's conclusion is quickly approaching as well. It's on the horizon, and you're definitely worried about that, and so they don't want to lose readers, they don't want to lose fans of the magazine, they want people to continue coming back and buying their said magazine on a weekly basis. So that gets to the main crux of the issue. I think that in general, that this one-shot will probably determine if we are going to be getting a sequel for My Hero Academia or if we're not. Now, will it eventually get one? Probably. But if it doesn't get announced for this one-shot in some way when this all comes out, I think we're looking at maybe a time period of like when the anime fully ends, completely done, that is when we'll probably get some form of announcement of a continuation. That's the earliest I think we would get at this point if we don't get it with this one-shot. So yeah, this is something I wanted to bring up because I saw a lot of people talking about this. A few people added me to it as well, and I wanted to bring this up for those that were unaware of it. There is more content for My Hero Academia in the works. Now, let's segue over to the next section, which is this. The next manga that Aka Akasaka is working on, and I've been very critical on Oshinoko and Aka as of late, and I think my overall opinions will still stand even going into this series. So let's talk about that. So for those that are unaware or uninitiated, Aka Akasaka is the author of Kaguya-sama and Oshinoko, and you might recognize Kaguya-sama if you've watched the anime only, like if you're only an anime watcher, you might look at Oshinoko or Kaguya-sama and be like, man, those are really good, like 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 10 out of 10 series. And you might think that, which is fair, because if you're not a manga reader, you probably don't know what has went down in both of these individual series. But Aka Akasaka has proven multiple times now, not once, but twice, that when it comes to conclusions of his manga, it seems like he becomes dispassionate and loses interest. And one of the big extreme cases of this is definitely Oshinoko. How he handled Oshinoko and everything around it is something I've already talked about extensively, so I'm not going to get exactly back into all those details. But it's very clear that Aka is someone that is capable of writing a good story, he's capable of putting a good world, making good characters, he's capable of doing a really good manga. Once again, Kaguya-sama and Oshinoko, very standout manga, very heavy hits, people recognize them. They are not small niche manga, small niche anime, they are huge. However, despite how huge they are, how popular they are, and how many people love them, Aka has shown that he loses interest in his said work, which is fair, at the end of the day, it's his work, but it's clear that he continuously will write something for a long period of time, and then he wants to be done with it, and he'll go to a new idea and want to run the other series to a conclusion as quick as possible. Once again, Oshinoko is a very good example of this. And looking at, this upcoming manga that is coming out, and he is going to be working with the author of Record of Ragnarok, that poor man. Basically, this series is probably going to start off really good. I have no doubt in my mind that this series here, that is going to be coming out, this new fantasy romance, won't be something that's going to wow people. Like, it's going to have the first chapter come out, first few chapters come out, people are going to be like, man, this is pretty good. They're going to like it. The art's probably going to be very good, because obviously the artist is, the person that did Record of Ragnarok. Going to make a lot of sense. But I think that a lot of people going into this really need to go in with tempered expectations, because even if the beginning of this is very good, we got to remember what Aka has done, not just with Oshinoko, but Kaguya-sama. And he has proven that he can do good writing. He is capable of writing, but loses interest. If there's like an Apex tournament or anything like that, you can just, you see it, you can feel it. And I'm going to be honest with you, will I read this manga when it comes out? Probably. Will I be quick to say this is going to be the best thing since sliced bread and it's going to have a good conclusion? No. You can fool me once. That's that's fine. I'll let it go. You can fool me twice. That's not good. I don't really forgive that. I'm not being fooled a third time. I'm not. And in this case, I'm not going to be fooled into thinking that just because the beginning or even the middle part of the series is amazing, that it's going to end good and satisfy me. Just the ending of Oshinoko was one of the worst endings I've seen in a long time. It was truly horrible. And going into this, there is a little bit of aftertaste, bad aftertaste in my mouth after that, going into this work. So, I'm going to be reading this. I'm going to be fair to it, obviously, but I cannot deny the bias that I feel towards Aka after what he has done recently. But I'll leave it at that. I just wanted to talk about this. This manga is set to come out relatively soon, and once it does come out, obviously, I will talk about it. I'll do a first impressions review on it, but until then, that is about it. So, love you guys. Be safe, stay healthy, and if you liked the video, please subscribe, leave a like. Chibi out.